So hi guys, welcome back to welcome back to South Africa taking on New Zealand at Hamilton. It's a men's clash between these two teams. New Zealand women, they lost against South Africa women just 1 hour ago. So now it's the time for both these men's teams to clash against each other at the same venue, Seddon Park, Hamilton. South Africa have won the toss and elected to bowl first. So both the New Zealand openers are out in the middle. Devon Conway and Tom Latham are opening the batting for New Zealand. A surprise thing is that Tom Latham being brought into the team, brought into the T20 team, which is a very, very surprising thing. And Gerald Coetzee has the new ball in his hand. He's going to be bowling the first over for South Africa. New Zealand have made two changes today. Lockie Ferguson and Josh Clarkson have come into the playing 11 in place of Bevan Jacobs and Zachary Fox. Meanwhile, South Africa have also made one change. Wian Mulder is playing today in place of Jordan Herman. They're all in readiness to start. First ball of the match. Devon Conway on strike. Gerald Coetzee. Around the wicket to Devon Conway. And straight away it's flicked away beautifully by Conway, and that'll race away for 4 towards deep mid wicket. That's a great way to start the match from Devon Conway. Full and onto the pads from Coetzee. Beautifully flicked away. This time it's flicked away again. A little bit of a misfield at mid wicket there. And Devon Conway picks up another single. So back over the wicket now. Gerald Coetzee changing his angle over the wicket. Latham goes for a drive, unable to make connection. Another dot ball from Coetzee. This time it's a wide down the leg side. Has to reload that one again. This time it's driven, it's gone off the edge towards third man, and Tom Latham gets off the mark with a single. Devon Conway is back on strike. Oh, that's a short ball. Conway going for the pull. It's too short, I think. So he ducked underneath it. Another dot ball from Gerald Coetzee. Last ball of the over. Oh, that's an inside edge. It goes towards deep square leg, and Devon Conway picks up another single to finish the over. So 8 runs came from that over from Gerald Coetzee, and New Zealand are now 8 without loss after 1 over. Mokoena is the new bowler into the attack for South Africa here. Nikobani Mokoena. And that's beautifully driven through the offside by Devon Conway. Through the covers for 4. That's a great way to start the over. 2 full from Mokoena, and starts the over with a boundary. Three more deliveries left in this over. Nikobani Mokoena coming around the wicket to Conway. That's short. It's pulled away by Conway. Out towards deep square leg. Good fielding at deep square leg. And Conway will pick up another couple of runs. Two more deliveries left in this over. This time it's driven again, straight to the fielder though at covers. Make that another dot ball. A really good over so far from Nikobani Mokoena. Has been a really good find for South African cricket. Played in the T20 tournament, did well in the SA20 tournament as well. That is where you get new talents. Last ball of the over, and goes for the reverse paddle shot, but unable to make contact. It goes towards the point, and Devon Conway picks up another single to finish the over. 7 runs came from that over. 1 leg boys to finish that over, and New Zealand are now 15 without loss after 2 overs. So Gerald Coetzee now into his second over, starts with a dot ball again. Conway going for the drive, unable to make connection. So Coetzee now changing his angle, coming around the wicket. We have seen that even in the first over of this innings. Oh, Conway going for the paddle again, unable to make connection. It's gone off the pads. It's another dot ball though. Back-to-back dot balls to start this over. Well, that's beautifully driven by Conway through the gap and into the boundary for 4. Slower delivery, I thought, from Coetzee in the slot. Conway is really good, plays these flowing drives, picks up his third boundary in this innings. So now over the wicket, but it doesn't make a difference because Conway goes for the pull shot towards deep mid wicket. Good fielding at deep mid wicket. Another couple of runs for Devon Conway. Tom Latham hasn't gotten much of the strike. It's Devon Conway who is single-handedly scoring the runs. Score of New Zealand is 21 without loss. Conway has already scored 18 from 14 balls. 18 out of those 21 runs. Obviously, Tim Seifert and Finn Allen are not here because they will be preparing for the IPL. They are going to be playing for the Kolkata Knight Riders in the IPL, which will start in another 11 days' time. They had an outstanding campaign Men's T20 World Cup. Unfortunately, lost in the finals, but they made it through to the final. The fifth ball of the over coming up. Goes for the cut shot, unable to make connection. Another dot ball from Coetzee. Obviously, the main New Zealand team, the main team of New Zealand T20 cricket, they will be having Tim Seifert, Finn Allen, Rachin Ravindra, Daryl Mitchell, Mark Chapman. That is a really good team actually. Comes down the wicket again. Extra bounce for Coetzee, and Conway unable to make connection. Another dot ball to finish that over. The 6 runs came from that over from Gerald Coetzee, and New Zealand are now 21 without loss after 3 overs. So Ottoniel Bartman is the new bowler into the attack for South Africa. And straight away, Latham drives it straight to covers. Dot ball to start the over. And Tom Latham can play T20s. He played for the Canterbury Kings in the Super Smash T20 tournament. And he played really well. Was giving good opening partnership. So he can also be a reliable T20 batter. Goes for the paddle, scoop shot, and gets it over. Short fine leg, gets it over fine leg for 6. What a shot that is from Tom Latham. Innovation at its very, very best. First 6 of this innings, and it comes to the bat of Tom Latham. So third ball of the over coming up. A really good shot actually from Tom Latham. The third ball of the over coming up. This time it's driven again by Latham towards covers, and another dot ball from Ottoniel Bartman. I really don't know why Ottoniel Bartman was not selected for the T20 World Cup. Whatever it is, Bartman should have played. Much better bowler. Obviously there was Rabada, Janssen and Ngidi were there, but Ottoniel Bartman bowled really well in the SA20, if anyone had noticed. Ooh, that's another beauty of a delivery. Latham goes for the drive and misses it. Another dot ball. Bartman bowled really well in the SA20 tournament, which happened this year, so definitely he should have been there in the T20 World Cup squad, but not to be. Goes for the drive again, unable to make contact. So 3 dot balls in a row. Brilliant bowling once again from Ottoniel Bartman. Conceded a 6, but 4 dot balls ever since. Last ball of the over, and it's driven beautifully through point, and that'll run away for 4. Placement at its very, very best from Tom Latham. Another boundary to finish the over. 10 runs came from that over, and New Zealand are now 31 without loss after 4 overs. So Kobani Mokoina is continuing into his second over. Devon Conway is on strike. And Conway goes for the drive and misses it. Again a dot ball to start the over. Oh, this time he goes for the drive. He's taken the inside half of the bat towards deep mid wicket. And Devon Conway picks up another couple of runs. Current run rate is 7.62. This time it's back of the length. Conway defends it back to the bowler. Another dot ball from Mokoina. This time it's short, it's pulled away towards deep mid wicket, coming back for the second. That's great running between the wickets. Another couple of runs for Devon Conway. This time it's pulled away leg side towards mid wicket, and Conway picks up another single. The last ball of the over. Oh, Latham goes for the pull again, unable to make contact. Another dot ball to finish the over. The 5 runs came from that over, and New Zealand are now 36 without loss after 5 overs. Neil Bartman continuing into his second over, starts with a fantastic Yorker. Absolutely brilliant. Devon Conway digs it out. And I think he lost his balance as well there in the process. A great way to start the over from Neil Bartman. This time comes down the wicket, goes for the drive, unable to make contact. Another dot ball from Bartman. That's flicked away in the air by Conway, lands safely. One bounce to deep mid wicket, coming back for a second. That's good running between the wickets. Another couple of runs for Devon Conway. The fourth ball of the over coming up. That's shot again, pulled away this time convincingly in front of square from Devon Conway for 4. Brilliantly done. He's so good on the off the back foot as well as Devon Conway, and picks up his 4th boundary in this innings. Bartman around the wicket. Whoa, and Conway goes for the drive, unable to make connection. Another dot ball from Bartman. Last ball of the over, and Conway goes over the top. It's towards deep point, and picks up another single to finish that over. 7 runs came from that over. The power play has been completed. New Zealand are now 43 without loss after 6 overs after the power play. So Keshav Maharaj is the new bowler into the attack now for South Africa. Devon Conway on strike. Maharaj coming around the wicket, and Conway straight away goes for the slog sweep, gets it in the gap, and that splits both those fielders at deep mid wicket and into the boundary for 4. What a way to welcome a new bowler to the crease. Devon Conway welcomes Keshav Maharaj with a boundary. This time it's a quicker delivery, flicked away leg side towards mid wicket, and Devon Conway picks up another single. Tom Latham is back on strike. This time over the wicket. Latham goes for a reverse sweep, in the air, taken at point. And the first wicket goes down here for New Zealand. What a soft dismissal that was. Latham just looking for the reverse sweep there. Hitting it in the air. When you're hitting it in the air, you have to be very, very careful. It's gone straight into the hands of that fielder at point. And a timely breakthrough. As far as South Africa are concerned, they're looking for breakthroughs. They've got it. It's Keshav Maharaj who strikes. Tom Latham is gone after scoring 11 runs from 10 balls, and New Zealand are now 48 for 1 after 6.3 overs. So Tim Robinson is a new batter to the crease for New Zealand, coming in at number 3. And Keshav Maharaj is going to be coming around the wicket to Tim Robinson. Robinson goes for the sweep. It's towards deep midwicket, deep square leg. And Tim Robinson gets off the mark with a single. Oh, this time Conway coming down the wicket looking for the big shot. Got hit on the pads, I think. Luckily for him, he at least made something, avoided getting stumped there. The last ball of the over coming up. Goes big, Conway's got that one, that's all the way for 6. Flat and hard over deep mid wicket. Clears the boundary, ends the over with a maximum. So good over for New Zealand there. 12 runs came from that over, including the wicket of Tom Latham. 12 runs came from that over, including the wicket of Tom Latham. New Zealand are now 55 for 1 after 7 overs. A terrific shot there from Devon Conway, clearing the boundary. It's been a decent start from New Zealand. I won't say good, I won't say bad. A decent start. That's what has to be said. So another bowling change here. George Linde is the new bowler into the attack for South Africa. Tim Robinson is going to be on strike. George Linde coming around the wicket to Tim Robinson. Oh, he goes for the drive there and able to make connection, some extra bounce as well for George Linde, bowling it quicker through the air. Another dot ball. Second ball of the over coming up. Oh, he's chopped it on. George Linde strikes. Second wicket goes down for New Zealand. Tim Robinson going for the cut shot, chopping it back onto his stumps. And South Africa back on top here in this game. Wickets falling for New Zealand. Playing away from the body there. Tim Robinson, not a great idea to play away from the body. Chopping it back onto the stump. So Tom Latham was dismissed. Now Tim Robinson gone after scoring just 1 run from 3 balls. And New Zealand are now 55 for 2 after 7.2 overs. So Nick Kelly is the new batter to the crease for New Zealand, coming in at number 4. George Linde coming over the wicket to Nick Kelly. That's on the pads. Nick Kelly flicks it away leg side, gets off the mark with a single. Devon Conway is back on strike. 3 more deliveries left in this over. Cole McConkey is playing today. Did really well in the T20 World Cup actually. Don't know why he was dropped in the final. Should have played that game as well. That's cut away by Devon Conway towards deep extra covers and picks up another single. You have Mitchell Santner, Jimmy Neesham, Cole McConkey. Everyone played the T20 World Cup. In fact, I was surprised that Tim Robinson was not selected for the T20 World Cup. Maybe he could have done much better than what Rachin Ravindra did. Rachin Ravindra obviously did well in his bowling in the T20 World Cup, but his batting form was a bit concerning because he couldn't get those big scores consistently, particularly towards the back end of the tournament. So maybe I think that could be the end of the road as far as Rachin Ravindra is concerned in international T20 cricket, and maybe they can try to use Tim Robinson more often than not. Yes, he failed today, but he is a much better batter in T20 cricket compared to Rachin Ravindra. That is what I'm trying to say. Last ball of the over coming up. Conway goes for the reverse sweep. Oh, good fielding at point. And they will pick up another single to finish that over. So 4 runs came from that over from George Linde. And New Zealand are now 59. 4 runs came from that over, including the wicket of Tim Robinson. And New Zealand are now 59 for 2 after 8 overs. So Keshav Maharaj now coming over the wicket to Conway, and Conway swings it down the ground to long on and picks up another single to start the over. Now Nick Kelly is back on strike. That's pulled away by Nick Kelly. Down towards deep mid wicket. Good fielding at deep mid wicket. And Nick Kelly picks up another couple of runs. This time pulled away again by Kelly towards deep mid wicket. Again can't find the gap. Finding the fielders. Nick Kelly picks up another single. This time another quicker ball. Conway cuts it away towards deep point. Picks up another single. Partnership is 9 from 8 balls. Need to get some boundaries here. This time it's short. It's pulled away by Kelly. Finds the gap. Finds the boundary. Too short on that occasion from Keshav Maharaj. And Nick Kelly, we have seen him in the Super Smash tournament. He bats really well, an aggressive batter. Picks up his first boundary in this innings. This time a quicker ball and Nick Kelly punches it back to the bowler. Another dot ball to finish the over. 9 runs came from that over. New Zealand are now 68 for 2 after 9 overs. So George Linte is continuing into the attack. Again a single to start the over. Nick Kelly back on strike. Second ball of the over. Another quicker delivery inside edge onto the pads. And another dot ball from George Linte. This time it's swept away leg side. Might have found the gap. He has. Another boundary for Nick Kelly. Beautiful placement towards deep mid wicket there, dragging it from outside the off stump to the leg stump and succeeding in doing so. Picks up his second boundary in this innings. This time it's a quicker ball and Nick Kelly punches it towards covers and picks up another single. Devon Conway is back on strike, nearing his half century. 2 more deliveries left in this over. That's too wide. Too wide from George Linde. Has to reload that one again. Two more deliveries left in this over. 7 runs from this over so far. Oh, he goes for a big shot. Appeal for something there. And Conway is also not happy. He is down on his haunches. There was bat pad, I think. Not quite sure whether Quinton de Kock completed the catch or not. Last ball of the over coming up. Oh, he's got bat on that one. Reverse sweep. Good fielding at third man. And Conway picks up another single to finish the over. In fact, still one more delivery left in this over. Still one more delivery left in this over because it is given as a wide. So last ball of the over coming up. That's short and that's pulled away by Nick Kelly in the gap. Beats that fielder at deep mid wicket into the boundary for 4. Another boundary to finish the over. So good over here for New Zealand. 13 runs came from that over from George Linde. And New Zealand are now 81 for 2 after 10 overs at the halfway mark of this innings. And it's also the time for the drinks break. So we come to the end of the drinks break and Vian Mulder is the new bowler into the attack, coming around the wicket to Conway. Oh, and Conway goes for a paddle scoop shot, unable to make connection. Again a dot ball to start the over from Vian Mulder. Ian Mulder has come into the playing 11 today in place of Jordan Herman, going in with an extra all-rounder today, South Africa, trying to strengthen their bowling as well as their batting by bringing in someone like Ian Mulder, who has been very, very inconsistent but very, very effective as well at times. Second ball of the over coming up. And he goes big, Conway, it's in the slot. And that's all the way for 6 over long on. Cannot bowl in the slot to this man. Brings up his half century as well. 52 from just 39 balls with 5 boundaries and 2 sixers at a strike rate of 133.33. A phenomenal knock from Devon Conway. This time it's pulled away by Devon Conway. Down towards deep mid wicket and picks up another single. Three more deliveries left in this over. Nick Kelly is back on strike. This time it's driven straight. Oh, beats mid-off and into the boundary for 4. A really good effort at mid-off, but couldn't stop it, couldn't hold it in. Another boundary, this time it's from Nick Kelly. Oh, he's bowled him. Ian Mulder strikes back after conceding the boundary. He's gone straight through the defense of Nick Kelly. The third wicket goes down here for New Zealand. Nick Kelly looking for the drive. Just beating that outer edge. The off cutter actually from Ian Mulder. Crashing into middle stump. And that is exactly what South Africa wanted. Try and keep taking wickets. Try and put more pressure. Nick Kelly is gone after scoring 21 from 12 balls. And New Zealand are now 92 for 3 after 10.5 overs. So the captain of New Zealand, Mitchell Santner, has been promoted up the order. Promoted to number 5. Normally he comes in as a finisher. The last ball of the over coming up, Mitchell Santner on strike. This time it's driven again by Santner but straight to covers. Another dot ball to finish the over. So 11 runs came from that over and New Zealand are now 92 for 3 after 11 overs. 11. Nukobani Mokoina now into his third over. Coming around the wicket to Devon Conway. Now, in fact, coming over the wicket to Devon Conway as a slow ball. Conway looking for the drive, unable to make connection. Again, a dot ball to start the over. This is why Mokoina is really good actually. Mixes up his pace, is not predictable. And that is what you need to do as a bowler. Try and mix up your variations. Try and keep the batters guessing. As flicked away leg side by Conway, down towards deep mid wicket. Good fielding at deep mid wicket. And Devon Conway will pick up another couple of runs. Third ball of the over coming up. Over the wicket, Mokoina. That's a short ball pulled away again by Devon Conway down towards deep mid wicket. Picks up another single. This time back of the length, Mitchell Santner drives it straight to covers. Another dot ball from Mokoina. Two more deliveries left in this over. This time it's driven again back to the bowler by Mitchell Santner. Another dot ball from Nukobani Mokoina. Last ball of the over. A little bit of an inside edge. Mitchell Santner will get off the mark with a single to finish that over. 4 runs came from that over from Mokoina. New Zealand are now 96 for 3 after 12 overs. So 8 overs left in this innings and Gerald Coetzee is back into the attack, into his third over. Mitchell Santner will be on strike. So Coetzee coming over the wicket to Mitchell Santner. 13th over of this innings. And that's punched away by Santner but straight to covers. Again a dot ball to start the over. Now this is where someone like a Daryl Mitchell or someone like a Mark Chapman would make such a difference in the middle order. I'm surprised actually because Daryl Mitchell is not part of any IPL squad. He went unsold in the IPL. So why won't he play this T20 series? I can understand Tim Seifert, Finn Allen, Rachin Ravindra, they're all in IPL. So they will be preparing for the IPL. But what about Daryl Mitchell? What excuse will you give for Daryl Mitchell missing this kind of a series? I mean, you're not part of the IPL. You went unsold in the IPL. So might as well play this series. Even Mitchell Santner, who is going to be participating for the Mumbai Indians in the upcoming IPL season, even he is playing as the captain in this series. So what is it with the other players? Goes for the cut shot in the air, down to deep point. Good fielding actually. It might not reach the boundary. But Mitchell Santner will come back for 3. That's good running between the wickets. 3 runs completed. But it's understandably so because just now New Zealand have finished a big T20 World Cup, and then you ask all those players to play this bilateral series and the IPL, it becomes very, very tough. But although the players like Mitchell Santner are exceptions, they just love to play cricket anywhere it happens. It's okay. 3 more deliveries left in this over. Cootsie around the wicket to Conway. Oh, that's pulled away leg side. Deep fine leg is there as well. And Devon Conway picks up another single. 100 comes up for New Zealand. 100 comes up in 12.4 overs at the loss of 3 wickets. Oh, that's a short ball. Mitchell Santner tucks underneath it. It's given as a wide by the umpire. So Gerald Coetzee has to reload that one again. The last ball of the over coming up. In fact, still 2 more deliveries left in this over. Oh, that's driven away beautifully by Mitchell Santner towards deep extra covers and picks up another single. The last ball of the over coming up. Oh, goes for the cut shot under edge towards the keeper. Really good finish to the over from Gerald Coetzee. Another dot ball to finish the over. Just 6 runs came from that over. And New Zealand are now 102 for 3 after 13 overs. So George Linde is back into the attack for South Africa here. Mitchell Santner is on strike. Linde coming over the wicket to Santner. That's short and wide. Santner cuts it away beautifully. It's in the gap. Might run away for 4. Yes, it does. Again, a boundary to start the over with on offer from George Linde. And Santner puts it away, picks up his first boundary this innings. Second ball of the over. Tossed up, swung away by Santner towards deep mid wicket and picks up another single. So fourth ball of the over coming up. Oh, looking to go for the big shot there. Devon Conway, a little bit of an inside edge towards square leg and picks up another single. 7 runs have come from this over, still 2 balls left. That's a wide down the leg side. George Linde has to reload that one again. This time it's punched back to the bowler. Again, brilliant bowling from George Linde. Another dot ball. Oh, that's short and that's massive. That's smashed. That's all the way for 6 onto the banks, onto the grass banks. Look out on the grass banks. Too short on that occasion. Bowled so well till now, but dragged one down, and Santner is too good a batter to miss out on that. Picks up a maximum here. The last ball of the over coming up. Oh, that swung away leg side again by Santner. One bounce and into the boundary for 4. So 6 and a 4 to finish that over. Good over, being spoilt towards the end. 17 runs came from that over from George Linde. And New Zealand are now 119 for 3 after 14 overs. So Mitchell Santner has been dismissed. O'Neill Bartman strikes, and the 4th wicket goes down here for New Zealand. Santner was looking so good, but O'Neill Bartman has gone through his defence. So very, very important wicket for South Africa. Mitchell Santner is gone after scoring 20 runs from 14 balls. And New Zealand are now 120 for 4 after 14.2 overs. So Jimmy Neesham is the new batter to the crease for New Zealand, coming in at number 6. The 3rd ball of the over coming up. Neesham on strike. That's back of the line. Neesham defends it towards covers and gets off the mark with a single. Jimmy Neesham, still determined to play cricket and still playing most of the matches for New Zealand in T20 internationals, is so good to watch. They still have Paul McConkey and Josh Clarkson and Kyle Jamieson who can play some big shots after this in case any wicket falls. 3 more deliveries left in this over. It's flicked away by Devon Conway towards deep mid wicket and picks up another single. It's been so good as O'Neill Bartman, picking up regular wickets. Two more deliveries left in this over. Neesham is back on strike. That's driven again by Neesham. Down the ground to mid-off. Another dot ball from O'Neill Bartman. Last ball of the over, pulled away by Neesham towards deep square leg and picks up another single to finish the over. 4 runs came from that over, including the wicket of Mitchell Santner, and New Zealand are now 123 for 4 after 15 overs. So Wian Mulder is back into the attack into his second over, around the wicket to Neesham, and that's back of the length again. Neesham defends it back to the bowler. Another dot ball to start the over. The second ball of the over coming up. That's flicked away by Nisham. Has to push for 2 here. No, they won't. Just a single for Jimmy Nisham. The third ball of the over. Oh, Conway goes straight up in the air. Now this could be out here. This could be out. It is. The keeper runs back and takes the catch. And it's the biggest wicket possible. The set batter Devon Conway has to go. Connor Esterhuizen taking the catch. And New Zealand are falling apart here big time. Ian Mulder picks up his second wicket. Took the pace off once again. The off cutter. Conway unable to get hold of it, only managing to get the top edge, and really good catch by the wicketkeeper Connor Esterhuizen. And New Zealand are now 5 down here. Devon Conway is gone after scoring 60 from 49 balls, and New Zealand are 124 for 5 after 15.3 overs. So Cole McConkie is the new batter to the crease. Played really well in the men's T20 World Cup which just concluded. Didn't play the final, which was very surprising, but he played a major role in the semi-final against Sri Lanka when they rescued themselves from 84 for 6 to 168. He played very key roles as driven down the ground by Cole McConkie. Gets off the mark with a single. He played a key role in New Zealand reaching the final of the ICC Men's T20 World Cup, but unfortunately for them, lost the final against India. But very surprising that McConkie didn't play in the 11 in that final. So he should have played in the 11, but instead they brought in Jacob Duffy, which was a very shocker of a decision, because Jacob Duffy in Indian conditions has never been effective. A little bit of an inside edge from Nisham. Another dot ball. I mean, why would you change a winning combination going into a final? A winning combination helped them in the semi-final. They went into the final, dropped Cole McConkie and brought in Jacob Duffy. Who can understand this logic? At least I am not able to understand. But that is what New Zealand did in the final and paid the price for it. Anyways, no point talking about the past now. Last ball of the over, and that's driven away by Jimmy Nisham towards point and picks up another single to finish the over. Excellent over from Ian Mulder. Just 3 runs came from that over, including the wicket of Devon Conway, and New Zealand are now 126 for 5 after 16 overs. I just get a feeling that at some point, how much ever you practice, how much ever T20 cricket you play, how much ever you play anything, you need to beat India at some point. That is very important if you want to win a World Cup. The way India are playing these days, it's looking very tough to beat them. Nukobani Mokoina into the attack, is driven away by Jimmy Nisham towards covers and picks up another single to start the over. Things just starting to slow down a little bit here for New Zealand. Jimmy Neesham 5 runs from 8 balls. He's been struggling with the bat ever since the T20 World Cup. Has made some decent contributions with the ball, but his batting form has drastically dipped, and that is not helping New Zealand's cause. Second ball of the over coming up. Cole McConkie on strike. That's pulled away by McConkie down the ground to long on and picks up another single. McConkie is a big striker of the ball. We all know that. We saw it in the T20 World Cup. But Jimmy Neesham, he needs to bring back his best form. He is eating up a lot of deliveries. Particularly in this format, you cannot do this. Goes for the paddle again. Good. It goes towards short fine leg. Jimmy Neesham picks up another single. Probably one leg by. Is it? No, it's not. It's given us runs. At least we can say a much better batting performance from New Zealand today compared to the first T20, where they were bowled out for just 91. Oh, that's a short ball. It's gone over the top of the batter. It's given as a wide by the umpire. So McCoyna has to reload that one again. Oh, goes for the cut shot. The slow ball from McCoyna. Unable to make contact on that. So even Cole McConkie getting deceived. Brilliant bowling actually from South Africa. No doubt about that. Again, brilliant comeback. 2 more deliveries left in this over. That's cut away by McConkie towards deep extra covers and picks up another single. Tell to South Africa, change your captain in T20 cricket. You don't want Aiden Markram as your captain in World Cups. You need to change that captain. Then only you can win a World Cup. And maybe Keshav Maharaj is a good option for captaincy for the upcoming T20 World Cup and the ODI World Cup. Last ball of the over. That swung away leg side by Neesham towards deep mid wicket. Really good fielding at deep mid wicket. They'll come back for the second. And that's good running between the wickets. Another couple of runs to finish the over. So 7 runs came from that over from McCoyna. And New Zealand are now 133 for 5 after 17 overs. Three more deliveries left in this over. Well, McConkie swings it leg side out towards deep square leg for 4. Picked the slow ball really well and starts the over with a boundary. Much needed for New Zealand with only 3 overs left. Well, that's cut away again. Down towards deep extra covers. They'll come back for 2. Fumble, misfield. And deep extra covers allows the batters to come back for the second. Another couple of runs for Cole Mukonki. Oh, it's another slow ball. Mukonki swings and misses. There's another dot ball from Gerald Coetzee. Big swing and miss there from Cole Mukonki. Oh, it's in the air. Somehow the ball lands safely. I was looking to hit it through the offside. It somehow ballooned in the air down the ground towards long on. And Mukonki picks up another single. Slow ball again, holding on to the wicket. Mukonki not intending to hit it leg side, but it went leg side. The two more deliveries left in the over. Jimmy Neesham back on strike. Oh, edged and taken. There's another wicket. Neesham, unable to get going, has had no timing throughout this innings. Has nicked one through to the keeper. Sixth wicket goes down for New Zealand. And it's Gerald Coetzee who strikes. Look at that. Feet movement nowhere, going nowhere. Just throwing his bat at it. Has nicked it through to the keeper. So a very, very ordinary innings from Jimmy Neesham comes to an end. Jimmy Neesham is gone after scoring 8 runs from 11 balls. And New Zealand are now 140 for 6 after 17.5 overs. So Josh Clarkson is the new batter to the crease, and straight away driven down the ground by Clarkson towards long on and gets off the mark with a single to finish the over. So 8 runs came from that over, including the wicket of Jimmy Neesham, and New Zealand are now 141 for 6 after 18 overs. So Otniel Bartman into his last over, and that's cut away by Cole Mukonki towards point and picks up another single to start the over. In fact, Clarkson has picked up the single to start the over. Mukonki is on strike. Going for the big shot, inside edging it, back to the bowler. Another dot ball here, just not getting the finish that they want here, New Zealand. Losing too many wickets. Cole Mukonki, the last recognized batter at the crease probably. And needs some big shots here, already into the penultimate over. Swung away leg side by McConkey. Down towards deep square leg and picks up another single. Just a single. Singles are not helping. Oh, that's a pickup shot from Clarkson. 1 bounce and into the boundary for 4 towards deep square leg. What a shot that is from Josh Clarkson. He has the capability to bat. That's a beautiful shot actually. Picks up his first boundary in this innings. Much needed boundary for New Zealand. This time it's cut away by Clarkson down towards deep extra covers. Beats that field red covers towards deep extra covers. Another couple of runs for Josh Clarkson. Yeah, absolutely agree actually. I think South Africa choked in that semi-final there. I really wonder how they lost one-sidedly against New Zealand in the semi-final actually. I'm not even able to imagine how that happened. As we see another couple of runs to finish the over. 10 runs came from that over. 150 comes up for New Zealand. New Zealand are 151 for 6 after 19 overs. I'm not even able to imagine how South Africa lost one-sidedly against New Zealand in that semi-final after dominating throughout the first round and the Super 8. Came into the semi-final unbeaten. And if they had won the semi-final, they would have gone into the final in Ahmedabad where they were unbeaten throughout that tournament. But unfortunately for them, their tournament ended in the semi-final itself. A very, very one-sided loss. Finn Allen scoring a 33-ball century. Maharaj bowling the last over. Good use of the feet. Straight down the ground for 6 from McConkey. That's a great way to start the last over. Can they push towards 170 plus? Cole McConkey. Interesting decision for Keshav Maharaj to bowl the last over. Comes down the wicket again. It's nicked it. Good fielding at short third man. And Cole McConkey picks up another single. Very, very interesting decision for Keshav Maharaj to bowl the last over. But all the other fast bowlers have finished off. Maybe they could have given the last over to Vian Mulder. He still had a couple of overs left. He's picked up 2 for 14. But Keshav Maharaj went with himself. And that's not working because Clarkson has gone miles back over deep mid-wicket for 6. That's the problem when you bowl it short. Too short on that occasion from Maharaj. And deposited by Clarkson for another maximum. This time again looking for the big shot, unable to make connection. 5th ball of the over coming up. Down the track, straight down the ground from Clarkson, all the way for 6. They've got to that 170 that I was talking about. Once again, brilliant use of the feet. And the decision to bowl Keshav Maharaj in the last over has not worked for South Africa. Oh, that's a wide outside the off stump, given as a wide by the umpire. Kumara, just to reload that one again. Vian Mulder still had a couple of overs left. You have to go with Vian Mulder. Why did you go with Keshav Maharaj? Last ball of the innings. Down the track. Straight down the ground. Beats long off into the boundary for 4. Huge over to finish off the innings for New Zealand. Josh Clarkson taking down Keshav Maharaj. 24 runs came from the last over. I really do wonder why Keshav Maharaj went with himself. A spinner bowling in the end overs is always a risk. When Vian Mulder has bowled really well, 2 for 14 in his 2 overs, Vian Mulder. He could have bowled this last over. Why did Keshav Maharaj bowl himself? Like, I'm not able to understand. But anyways, 24 runs from the last over. Some huge hitting from Josh Clarkson there. And finishing the Josh Clarkson unbeaten on 26 from just 9 balls. Cole McConkie 18 and unbeaten on 18 from 12 balls. Earlier we saw a superb knock from Devon Conway as well. 60 from 49 balls. And the middle order couldn't contribute much for New Zealand. But a good finish from Cole McConkie and Josh Clarkson, as New Zealand have finished with a really competitive total of 175 for 6 at the end of their 20 overs. And if you look at the bowling card of South Africa bowled really well actually, I thought. With the last over, I think they should have gone with Vian Mulder. They made a mistake there is what I am feeling. Gerald Coetzee 1 for 28 in his 4 overs. Nikobani Mokoena none for 22 in his 4 overs. Otenil Bartman 1 for 31 in his 4 overs. Keshav Maharaj, the last over was taken to the cleaners, 1 for 45 in his 3 overs. George Linde 1 for 33 in his 3 overs, and Vian Mulder bowled really well, 2 for 14 in his 2 overs as well. So South Africa, when they come out to bat, will need 176 runs to win this match from their full quota of 20 overs and take a lead of 2-0 in this 5-match T20 series. We'll be back again shortly to cover the run chase. Until then, please stay tuned. So hi guys, welcome back to the run chase. South Africa need 176 runs to win from their full quota of 20 overs. And obviously South Africa are not playing their main team in this T20 series. It's a second string team. So Wiaan Mulder and Connor Esterhuizen are opening the batting for South Africa. And Kyle Jamieson has the new ball in his hand. He's going to be bowling the first over for New Zealand. And all in readiness to get going. First ball of the run chase coming up. Kyle Jamieson bowling to Wiaan Mulder. Oh, and Mulder going for the drive. Mulder going for the drive, unable to make connection. Dot ball to start from Jamieson. And Jamieson has been really good in T20 cricket. Surprising that he didn't get a game in the T20 World Cup. Maybe because Matt Henry was their main bowler in the T20 World Cup. Oh, goes for the pull shot again, unable to make connection. So back-to-back dot balls to start. It's a new role for Wiaan Mulder actually. I don't think he has opened the batting in T20 cricket before this. It's a new look South African team. No Aiden Markram, no Ryan Rickleton, no Quinton de Kock, no Dewald Brevis, Tristan Stubbs, Miller. They're all not there. It's a completely new look South African team. If they had been there, then definitely today it would have been favourites to chase down this total. And this time pulled away by Wiaan Mulder towards deep square leg. And gets off the mark with a single. South Africa also off the mark. Wiaan Mulder off the mark with a single. This time it's on the stumps. Connor Esterhuizen defends it to point. Another dot ball from Kyle Jamieson. This time driven straight to covers. And another dot ball from Jamieson. So just one run coming from this over. Really good over so far from Kyle Jamieson. The last ball of the over. That's a wide down the leg side from Jamieson. Has to reload that one again. Staying in line there, Kyle Jamieson. The last ball of the over coming up. Connor Esterhuizen on strike. Edged. And it's down to third man. Oh, excellent fielding at third man star. Saved a certain boundary. And Connor Esterhuizen also gets off the mark with a single to finish the over. So 3 runs came from that over. And South Africa are now 3 without loss after 1 over. Lockie Ferguson is the new bowler into the attack. Did really well in the T20 World Cup. Bowling the second over now. And that's driven beautifully, but straight to the field at covers. Again, a dot ball to start the over. I think it's going to be tough for South Africa to chase this down because these are different conditions. These are not Indian conditions where you just crawl through, gets it on the pads there. And they will pick up a single, leg by single it is for Conor Esterhuizen. These are not Indian conditions where you just crawl through 176. These are not those kind of conditions, that is for sure. And particularly South Africa not playing their main team as well is not helping their cause. So New Zealand are still favourites to win this, is what I would think. And that is the thing, whenever these two teams play against each other, you don't know who is going to win on a given day, because both these teams are evenly matched and evenly poised. So very, very difficult to predict a winner between South Africa and New Zealand. Both these teams are quality teams. They have not won a World Cup till now, but both these teams have won the WTC. So evenly matched teams, no doubt about that. That's guided away straight to point. Another dot ball here. Good over this from Lockie Ferguson so far. Just one run coming from this over. Still 2 balls left. Goes for the cut shot, unable to make connection. Another dot ball from Lockie Ferguson. The last ball of the over coming up. That's on the pads, flicked away by Van Mulder, down to deep fine leg, and picks up another single to finish the over. 2 runs came from that over from Lockie Ferguson, and South Africa are now 5 without loss after 2 overs. Kyle Jamieson into his second over, again starts with a beauty. Another dot ball to start the over. Still no boundaries in this innings. A good quiet first couple of overs. Remember, South Africa took 16.4 overs to chase down 92 runs in the first T20 as well. So this South African team is struggling a little bit, because that was not a good sign. You need to chase down 92 comfortably. But they took 16.4 overs to chase down even 92 runs. Down the track, and that's gone miles. That's a clean hit from Van Mulder. That is what was needed for South Africa all this while. First 6 of this innings. That's a massive hit from Van Mulder. So third ball of the over coming up. I think having some discussions about changing the field. Oh, the shot again went for the pull again, but unable to make connection. Bjorn Mulder. Another dot ball from Jamieson. This time it's flicked away by Bjorn Mulder down towards deep square leg. Going to push for 2. And that's good running between the wickets. Another couple of runs for for Bjorn Mulder. So 2 more deliveries left in this over. Oh, that kept low. Bjorn Mulder going for the pull shot. Kept very, very low. Through to the keeper. And another dot ball. So at the moment, New Zealand have started well with the ball as well. Obviously, very important game for New Zealand considering that they lost the first T20. So if they want to maintain their record at this fortress, they will need to win this game. Last ball of the over coming up. Oh, inside edge past the keeper. They'll run away for 4. Fortune favors the brave. It's favoring Bjorn Mulder. Another boundary to finish the over. 12 runs came from that over from Jamieson. And South Africa are now 17 without loss after 3 overs. Lockie Ferguson now continuing into the second over and straight away Esther Huizen going for the cut shot. Unable to make connection. Ferguson hasn't conceded a run so far. Would you believe it? It's been brilliant from him. Second ball of the over. Oh, goes for the drive again. Unable to make connection. Another dot ball from Lockie Ferguson. Brilliant bowling actually from Lockie Ferguson. No doubt about that. Bowling tight lines and lengths. Third ball of the over. Oh, he goes down the ground. Esterhuizen has got enough on it. That's all the way for 6. Straight down the ground from corner Esterhuizen. And a superb shot down the ground for 6. First runs conceded by Lockie Ferguson today. And he concedes the 6. First 6 for corner Esterhuizen in this innings. So 3 more deliveries left in this over. Oh, that's a good Yorker. A really good follow-up there from Lockie Ferguson. It's flicked away straight to short mid-wicket. Another dot ball. So 2 more deliveries left in this over. Oh, brilliant Yorker once again, driven down the ground by Esterhuizen towards covers and picks up another single. Ian Mulder is back on strike. The last ball of the over coming up. Oh, has driven straight. Was there a catching opportunity? Was a slight opportunity for a catch there towards Lockie Ferguson's right side, but couldn't hold on to it. And another dot ball to finish the over. 7 runs came from that over from Lockie Ferguson, and South Africa are now 24 without loss after 4 overs. So Ben Sears is the new bowler into the attack for New Zealand. Connor Esterhuizen is on strike. Ben Sears coming over the wicket to Connor Esterhuizen. And that's back of the length. Esterhuizen punches it down the ground towards covers. Another dot ball to start the over. Second ball of the over. It's a short ball. Oh, it's gone over the keeper. Maybe the keeper got a hand on it. But Connor Esterhuizen will pick up the single wide plus the single. So 2 extra runs to the total for South Africa. Comes down the wicket, cuts it past that fielder at point. Oh, good fielding at deep point. And Ian Mulder picks up another couple of runs. They're going to have a look at the boundary, whether the fielder stopped it cleanly or not. Just eluded that fielder at point. The 4 more deliveries left in this over. That shot is pulled away by Ian Mulder towards deep square leg and picks up another single. The corner rester who is back on strike. 4th ball of the over coming up. Now that's driven in the air and taken at point. And Ben Sears strikes first wicket for New Zealand. Playing away from the body, corner rester Huizen and holding out at point. And that is exactly what New Zealand wanted. Picking up early wickets. Try and put the pressure on South Africa, and that is exactly what has happened. Really good catch actually at point. And Ben Sears bowled really well in the Super Smash T20 tournament, has got a call up to the national team and strikes for New Zealand. Corner rester Huizen is gone after scoring 8 runs from 12 balls, and South Africa are now 29 for 1 after 4.4 overs. So Tony Desorzi is the new batter to the crease for South Africa, coming in at number 3. 2 more deliveries left in this over. Oh, looking to pull it away, a little bit of an inside edge onto the pads. Another dot ball from Ben Sears. South Africa won the first T20I comfortably. Could New Zealand win this? Maybe they can. Last ball of the over coming up. It's cut away again. A little bit of an inside edge towards covers and another dot ball to finish the over. 5 runs came from that over from Ben Sears, including the wicket of corner rester Huizen. And South Africa are now 29 for 1 after 5 overs. Mitchell Santner is the new bowler into the attack. A change in bowling for New Zealand. Spin being introduced. And it's driven by Ian Mulder straight to covers. Again a dot ball to start the over. Too many dot balls being played here by the South African batters. It's increased the required run rate. The required run rate has already gone up to 10.02. That's driven again back to the bowler. Another dot ball. This is not looking good for South Africa at the moment. Too many dot balls and eating up too many deliveries. Van Mulder 16 from 19 balls. Oh, again slow through the air, goes for the drive, misses it. This is brilliant from Mitchell Santner. Absolutely brilliant. This is why Mitchell Santner is one of the best bowlers in modern day T20 cricket, because he has the capability of mixing up his pace, bowling it slow through the air. Always magnificent to watch. That's cut away in the air and taken, not covers. There's another wicket that goes down. That's what happens when the pressure continues to build. Van Mulder had no option. He had to go for the shots. And he's just played a desperate shot there under pressure and has been caught at covers, and South Africa lose their second wicket here, and New Zealand right on top in this game at the moment. Required run rate has already gone up to 10.26, and as I kept on saying, these are not Indian conditions. These are not Indian conditions in bold letters. These are Sena conditions, foreign conditions. And in these conditions, even 176 will be tough to chase down. Van Mulder is gone after scoring 16 runs from 20 balls. And South Africa are now 29 for 2 after 5.4 overs. And it's also the time for a drinks break. Well, the shortest drinks break I've ever seen in cricket. Ruben Herman is the new batter to the crease for South Africa. 2 more deliveries left in this over. Santner continuing over the wicket to a left-hander. Oh, and takes a leading edge. It's gone in the gap. Ruben Herman will get off the mark with a single. But South Africa in a lot of trouble here. Required run rate has already gone to 10.31. And these are not Indian conditions where you get boundaries easily. That is for sure. In Indian conditions, you can crawl. You can crawl your way. You can walk your way to 176. But definitely not in foreign conditions. Definitely not in New Zealand conditions. That is for sure. And that is why I feel that you need to keep a T20 World Cup outside India. That's flicked away again by Tony Desorzi towards deep mid-wicket and picks up another single to finish the over. So just 2 runs came from that over from Mitchell Santner, including the wicket of Van Mulder. And South Africa are now 31 for 2 after 6 overs after the power play. So Cole McConkie is the new bowler into the attack for New Zealand. Finally, Mitchell Santner realized the value of Cole McConkie. Coming around the wicket to Tony Desorzi. And Desorzi goes for the sweep, top edge taken at short fine leg, straight away. Cole McConkie strikes. This is exactly what he did in that semi-final against South Africa as well. He picked up the wickets of Quinton de Kock and Ryan Rickelton early on in that semi-final, if anyone remembers. And now another left-hander succumbing to Cole McConkie, and this time it's Tony Desorzi going for the pull shot, getting the top edge. Simple catch at short fine leg. Why the hell did New Zealand drop Cole McConkie in that final? If he had bowled against Abhishek Sharma, he could have got Abhishek Sharma early on. Instead, Abhishek Sharma scored a half century. What kind of a strategic decision that was? To drop Cole McConkie in the T20 World Cup final, I'm not quite sure. I still have no answers to that question. But anyways, Tony Desorsi is gone after scoring 1 run from 4 balls, and South Africa are now 31 for 3 after 6.1 overs. Well, many people will argue saying that New Zealand opting to bowl first in the T20 World Cup final was a bad decision. I agree that was a bad decision. But the biggest blunder that they could have committed was to drop Cole McConkie and bring in Jacob Duffy. They broke the winning combination in the final. That shouldn't have happened. That is why New Zealand lost this T20 World Cup. So Jason Smith is a new batter to the crease. And this time comes down the wicket, and Jason Smith gets off the mark with a single towards mid-off. It comes back to the same question. Why? You know that Cole McConkie is bowling well to left-handers. Abhishek Sharma was one left-hander who was always going to play in that final. However, Cole McConkie would have had a matchup with Abhishek Sharma. Why do you drop him from the 11? They dropped Cole McConkie and brought in Jacob Duffy, who has averaged around, his average has been 10, 9 and 10 in Indian conditions. I don't know why they brought him into the 11. Has driven down the ground by Ruben Herman. Picks up another single. But coming back to this game, South Africa just looked down and out already. 3 wickets down. Required run rate has already gone up to 10.73. This is the beauty. This is the biggest difference between Indian conditions and overseas conditions. Oh, goes for a slog sweep, misses it. Another dot ball. You always have to have a look at the conditions. Everywhere you cannot score 250 and 300. That is not possible. You cannot score 250 and 300 in New Zealand conditions or England conditions or Australian conditions. Only in Indian conditions you can score 250 to 300. That's pulled away by Jason Smith. That's in the gap. 1 bounce and 4. Much needed. Much needed for South Africa. 2 short on that occasion from Cole McConkie. And Jason Smith pounced on it. Picks up his first boundary. Last ball of the over, quicker delivery again. Jason Smith flicks it away leg side towards deep mid wicket and picks up another single to finish the over. 7 runs came from that over, including the wicket of Tony Desorsi, and South Africa are now 38 for 3 after 7 overs. Mitchell Santner is good in his captaincy, but in those important games, in those semi-finals and finals, he needs to be consistent with his decisions. He needs to back his players. It was clearly seen in that final when they dropped Cole McConkie. I don't know what was the thinking behind that. You can't make those kind of blunders in semi-finals and finals. And I don't know why, but these two teams are always at the receiving end of making blunders. They always, both South Africa and New Zealand always make one blunder, some blunder or the other when it comes to World Cup semi-finals or World Cup finals. And that is why both these teams haven't won a World Cup till now. They have only won the World Test Championship. Still searching for their first World Cup titles. Because if you want to beat India, if you want to beat Australia, if you want to beat England, You need to be at your very best. You should not break your winning combinations. You need to stick with your winning combination. You need to back your players. You need to take gutsy decisions as a captain. Very, very important if you want to win a World Cup. 3 singles in this over so far. Still 3 more deliveries left. Jason Smith on strike. This time it's punched again. Straight to covers, and Jason Smith picks up another single. It's been an excellent spell so far from Mitchell Santner. It's driven again by Ruben Herman straight to covers. Another dot ball from Santner. Comes down the wicket, swings it leg side. He's found the gap. That's 4. Beautiful placement from Ruben Herman. Picks up his first boundary in this innings. They need plenty more of that, South Africa. And maybe this is the start of it. The last ball of the over, changing his angle over the wicket. But that's short and that's massive. That's all the way. That's a great shot from Ruben Herman. And a great way to finish that over. 50 comes up for South Africa. They needed some momentum, and Ruben Herman has provided that momentum. 13 runs came from that over from Mitchell Santner. And South Africa are now 51 for 3 after 8 overs. So Ben Sears back into the attack, and straight away Jason Smith picks up a single to start the over. Required run rate is still 10.48, but that boundary and 6 would have released some pressure. I would think they still need plenty more of it. Ruben Herman is back on strike. Second ball of the over coming up. Oh, Herman pulls it down the ground. Long on. One bounce to long on. Doesn't carry to long on. And Ruben Herman picks up another single. He's a good batter actually, Ruben Herman, but very young in his career. Needs to gain some experience. He did well in the SA20 in the last couple of seasons. They have plenty of young players in this South African team who are upcoming superstars, we can say, upcoming legends probably. Oh, looking to flick it away, gets it on the pass, running through for a single. And Ruben Herman makes it, is also tumbled over. But New Zealand won't mind these singles as long as they are not conceding the boundaries. I think they will be happy. Now the required run rate is nearing 11 now, and I am repeatedly telling you these are not Indian conditions. These are not Indian conditions where you can chase down these kind of tricky equations. Fourth ball of the over coming up. Oh, it's cut away again, but straight to the fielder. Another dot ball from Ben Sears. Even in this T20 World Cup, we saw in Colombo and Palakkele, teams were defending totals of 170, 150, all those things. But once you come to Indian conditions, the entire thing about the entire dimension of T20 cricket changes. I don't know how, but that is what it is, because Indian conditions are absolute batting paradises. Nightmare for bowlers when it comes to Indian conditions. As we see another single here, just 4 runs coming from this over, still 1 ball left. That's cut away by Jason Smith, straight to point. Another dot ball to finish the over. Just 4 runs came from that over, and South Africa are now 55 for 3 after 9 overs. So 55 for 3 after 9 overs, and need plenty of big overs actually. Jimmy Neesham is the new bowler into the attack. Maybe he could be the weak link that South Africa will be looking to target. Ruben Herman is on strike. And it's driven by Ruben Herman, but straight to the fielder at covers. Dot ball to start. That's not helping the cause. Yeah, I understand that South Africa can still make a comeback and they can still try to pull off a surprise, but these are not Indian conditions. These are not Indian conditions. Keep that in mind. In Indian conditions, you can even chase 14 runs and over. You can chase 15 runs and over. Go to Chinnaswamy Stadium. Go to Wankhede Stadium. Go to Ahmedabad. Go anywhere you want in India. You can chase this total down, but not in overseas conditions. That's gone up in the air, and that's gone all the way, is it? No, 1 bounce. And into the boundary for 4. That's a terrific shot from Ruben Herman. Picks up a boundary here. Need plenty more of that. I just want to give you an example. The T20 World Cup semi-final, both these teams played against each other. A target of 170, New Zealand chased it down in 12.5 overs, if you don't mind. Can you chase that? Can you chase like that in Hamilton? Can you chase 172 in 12.5 overs in Hamilton? You cannot chase it. You can only chase it in Eden Gardens, Kolkata, in those Indian highways. That is why I'm saying Indian conditions are totally different from all these conditions. You cannot relate that to these conditions. Well, Ruben Herman has been dismissed here. Jimmy Neesham gets the breakthrough. A 4th wicket goes down for South Africa. Ruben Herman has holed out at deep extra covers, so it's getting from bad to worse as far as South Africa are concerned. Ruben Herman is gone after scoring 19 runs from 12 balls, and South Africa are now 59 for 4 after 9.3 overs. You need to look at the conditions also. Yes, this total will look chaseable, but in what kind of conditions are you playing? You need to keep that in mind. We saw even in Colombo and Palakkele during the T20 World Cup, teams couldn't chase down 140. 147 England defended against Sri Lanka. And then even India defended 176 against Pakistan in Colombo. New Zealand defended 169 against Sri Lanka in Colombo. That is because Colombo conditions are different from Indian conditions. In Colombo, 170 is a defendable total. In India, you will chase 117, 15 overs you will chase. That is the difference between the conditions. And there's not much difference between Colombo and New Zealand conditions, or Colombo, even Australian conditions, England conditions also. The conditions will play a major part. It will really stop. It will really provide challenges to the chasing team. It won't be easy to chase down these kind of 170, 180 totals. If you have seen the Big Bash League, if anyone had seen the Big Bash League, Optus Stadium in Perth, 140, 150 was a winning score there. But can you defend 140, 150 in Eden Gardens in Kolkata? Can you defend it in Chinnaswamy Stadium? No, you cannot. That is the difference between Indian conditions and other conditions when it comes to T20 cricket. And now these two teams are playing in tough conditions. Hamilton, it has tough conditions for the batters. In those conditions, chasing down this total is very, very hard. You take this match to Eden Gardens, take this match to Wankhede Stadium, provide this equation to South Africa, they will chase it down. I can guarantee that. Dean Forrester is the new batter to the crease. 59 for 4, looking very tough for South Africa. And that's cut away by Dean Forrester towards deep point. And picks up another single to start the picks up another single, gets off the mark with a single. I am speaking on the basis of conditions. I am not speaking anything randomly. That's why I kept on repeating, saying that these are not Indian conditions, because Indian conditions are totally different from every other conditions. That's pulled away by Jason Smith towards deep mid wicket and picks up another single. Six runs have come from this over, still one ball left. Last ball of the over. Cut away in the gap. Beats that fielder at point and into the boundary for 4. Really good shot from Dean Forrester. Another boundary to finish the over. 10 runs came from that over, including the wicket of Ruben Herman. South Africa are now 65 for 4 after 10 overs. 111 more runs needed from the last 10 overs. So South Africa women versus New Zealand women T20 series is tied. It's leveled at 1-1. If New Zealand wins this game, this T20 series will also be leveled at 1-1. So basically the remaining 3 T20s will become like a 3-match T20 series for both men and women. That's swept away again by Jason Smith towards deep mid wicket. Another single to start the over. Santner into his third over now. The required run rate is climbing higher and higher. Dean Forrester is back on strike. Santner coming around the wicket to Dean Forrester. That's cut away by Forrester. towards deep extra covers, picks up another single. Required run rate is 11.28 for South Africa. Very, very tough. The third ball of the over coming up. Let's quick a ball again, punched towards covers. Another dot ball from Mitchell Santner. That is exactly why I feel that the next edition of the Men's T20 World Cup, India will surely get exposed, because that T20 World Cup will happen in Australia and New Zealand. India can't get a score 250 in those conditions. They can score 250 in those Ahmedabad, Eden Gardens, all those highways. They can score 250, but definitely not in Australia and New Zealand. India are going to get exposed in the next World Cup. Wait and watch. That's a top edge, has been taken by Ben Sears. Another wicket goes. Mitchell Santner again striking for New Zealand. See, this is the effect. This is true T20 cricket. Look at how the bowlers are taking wickets. Can you take wickets like this in India? Be honest and tell me, can you take wickets like this in India? You cannot. They'll prepare highways. You can score 1,000 runs in one innings. Those kind of highways will be provided in India. Very, very tough. You have to feel for the bowlers there. Jason Smith is gone after scoring 12 runs from 13 balls, and South Africa half the side back in the pavilion. 67 for 5 after 10.4 overs. India are surely going to get exposed. Next ODI World Cup happening in South Africa. Next T20 World Cup happening in Australia and New Zealand. I want to see how India are going to dominate. I want to see how they are winning. They are going to win it unbeaten. They claim that they are the best white ball team in the world. Win unbeaten in South Africa and show me. Win it unbeaten in Australia and New Zealand and show me. Don't be home bullies. Win away from home and then prove to me. I want to see that, because I still think India are going to get exposed away from home. Too many World Cups happening in India. They are winning it easily. It needs to go happen outside India. Then I need to see how they are going to perform. George Linde is the new batter to the crease for South Africa, coming in at number 7. Santner coming around the wicket to Linde. It's punched away by George Linde towards covers and gets off the mark with a single. Because if India claim themselves as dominating cricket, you need to dominate cricket everywhere in the world, not only at home. And I just get a feeling India have not played much away from home. The Women's ODI World Cup happened in India. The Men's T20 World Cup happened in India. Keep something outside of India. Why everything is happening in India? It gives it gives a massive advantage to India when they are playing at home. Because as it is, beating India in India is a separate challenge in itself. So that comes into play when India are playing World Cups at home. If World Cups happen outside home, then surely India will also be challenged. The only way to challenge India is to make them play outside India. That is the only way you can challenge India. Because if they are playing at home, they have so much IPL experience. They are playing so much, 18 years of the IPL, they are playing in Indian conditions. So they know the Indian conditions inside out more than any other team. And that becomes a massive advantage. If it needs to be equal with other teams, then away conditions is the way. There surely India will get exposed. That is for sure. So at the moment, New Zealand bossing this game. 107 needed from 9 overs. McConaughey back into the attack, starts with a dot ball again. 107 needed from 53 balls. Required run rate 12.11. It's cut away again by Deon Forrester towards deep extra covers and picks up another single. George Linde is back on strike. Goes down the ground, Linde, and goes over long off for 6. That's a great shot. Picked up the length beautifully. A flat 6 over long off. And they need plenty more of this actually. The required run rate is already above 11. A much needed 6 for South Africa. Switch it and gets it past that fielder. 4 more. 6 and a 4 from George Linde. He's a good striker of the ball actually. Has the capability of playing these big shots. Pulls out the switch it and picks up another vital boundary. Quicker delivery, cut away by Linde, straight to point. And another dot ball from Cole McConkey. Required run rate 11.76. They need plenty of boundaries. Need at least 2 sixes every over probably. And he hurt me, I think. He's gone straight down the ground. 6 more. This is a huge over for South Africa actually. Could this be the over that South Africa were looking for all this while? 2 sixes and 1 4 in that over. 17 runs came from that over from McConkey. And South Africa are now 86 for 5 after 12 overs. So Ben Sears is back into the attack now into his 3rd over. Ian Forrester on strike. That's driven beautifully by Forrester down towards deep extra covers. Another single to start the over. Oh, overthrows. Overthrows, they'll get an extra run. Sloppy work from New Zealand. How did they manage to give the overthrows? The required run rate 11.23. Still gettable though. Still gettable, but they need a lot of boundaries. They need a couple of massive overs to change the game. But as I said, these are difficult conditions. That's defended again by Forrester towards point. Dot ball here. Actually, Michael Vaughan had made a statement actually a few days ago. The stupidest team of the T20 World Cup was South Africa actually, because if South Africa had lost to West Indies, then India would have had the pressure of net run rate to qualify for the semi-final. So even if India had beaten Zimbabwe and West Indies, they could have been eliminated in the Super 8, and that would have been a huge thing that could have happened in the T20 World Cup. Because India, no one expected India to lose to South Africa in the Super 8, but India lost it. Given that India had lost already, it's better to send them packing home in the Super 8 itself. At the earliest, you want to send them packing because they are a dangerous team when they are in full form. And they were dependent on South Africa to defeat West Indies to take the net run rate out of the equation. And after that, India defeated Zimbabwe and West Indies and went through it. It became a shootout between India and West Indies. But if South Africa had lost to West Indies in the T20 World Cup, then surely West Indies would have had 2 wins. South Africa would have had 2 wins. India would have had 2 wins, but India's net run rate was down because of the massive defeat against South Africa. So South Africa had the opportunity to eliminate India. They could have lost against West Indies, but they didn't do that. They defeated West Indies. India won the remaining games, came through to the semi-final. They won the World Cup. So that's the thing actually. When you have a chance of eliminating the best team from the competition, you need to do that at the earliest. You should not allow them to come to the next stage, because they will haunt you in the important matches. Well, just as I'm speaking, Deon Forrest has been dismissed here. The slot delivery went for the big shot, but didn't get hold of it at all, and a catch has been taken at deep mid wicket. And Ben Sears has got another wicket, picks up his second wicket here, and New Zealand are taking control of this game at the moment. South Africa just losing too many wickets at the wrong time. Deon Forrester is gone after scoring a run of ball 10, and South Africa are now 89 for 6 after 12.4 overs. On one hand, I do agree with Michael Vaughan's statement that South Africa could have lost to West Indies, then maybe India would not have come. But no one plays to lose, right? If South Africa had lost to West Indies, then they would have been under pressure to qualify for the semi-final. Obviously, their remaining match was against Zimbabwe, so they would have backed themselves. But you never know with South Africa, because if you rewind back to the 2022 T20 World Cup, South Africa lost to Netherlands and got eliminated from the T20 World Cup. So we all know what South Africa can do when they are put under pressure in World Cups. Imagine losing to Netherlands and getting eliminated. If anyone remembers that 2022 T20 World Cup, they were all set to qualify for the semi-final, but they lost to Netherlands. So that's why even a must-win match against Zimbabwe for South Africa, we won't get that much confidence on them. Gerald Coetzee is the new batter to the crease and has driven away towards deep extra covers, off the mark with a couple of runs. So that is why I think South Africa thought, okay, if they can beat West Indies, they will seal their spot in the semi-final. You don't want to be in a must-win situation against a team like Zimbabwe, because what if South Africa loses? They have a history of losing against Netherlands. They've lost twice against Netherlands in World Cups. 2022 T20 World Cup, 2023 ODI World Cup. 2 times they have lost to Netherlands. So if you are losing to Netherlands, then surely Zimbabwe can also defeat you. Coetzee goes down the ground and it's taken at deep mid wicket. Another wicket falls. What is happening here? Going down very, very quickly. Gerald Coetzee looking to clear the boundary, but finding the fielder at deep mid wicket. And 7 down now. Ben Sears again with the breakthrough. Another slow ball doing the trick. And New Zealand very close to winning this particular game and leveling the series 1-1. Bowling has been really good. Really disciplined bowling from New Zealand today. Gerald Coetzee is gone after scoring a run of ball 2. And South Africa in all sorts of trouble. 91 for 7 after 13 overs. So 7 overs left, 85 needed for South Africa here. Only 3 wickets left. George Linde is the last recognized batter at the crease. So it's looking tough for South Africa from here. But I don't understand why they gave the last over to Keshav Maharaj. They should have given it to Ian Mulder. Psychological effect. That's Lockie Ferguson back into the attack. Flicked away by Linde towards deep mid wicket and picks up another single. Vian Mulder still had a couple of overs left, but they gave it to Keshav Maharaj and that over went for 24. And New Zealand carried that momentum into the dressing room. Momentum is very, very important. Until then, South Africa had good momentum. Last over, once it went for 24, psychologically New Zealand thought 175 was a good score. This is a psychological game actually. Whoever has the momentum, they will have the advantage. Second ball of the over coming up. And it's driven in the air and taken at covers. Another one goes. Lockie Ferguson with the breakthrough and South Africa falling very quickly at the moment. 8th wicket goes down. A full delivery. I don't know what kind of a shot that was from Keshav Maharaj. A miserable day for him today. Bowled the last over. Leaked 24 runs and now nothing with the bat. Out for a first ball duck. And New Zealand 2 wickets away from sealing the win here and level the series 1-all. That is for sure. Keshav Maharaj is out for a first ball duck. South Africa 92 for 8 after 13.2 overs. So just 2 more wickets in hand for South Africa at the moment. George Linde, the only batter, only recognized batter at the crease, running out of partners at the moment. Too many wickets falling. They needed a partnership. They just haven't got it. Nkobani Mokoena is the new batter to the crease for South Africa. Third ball of the over coming up. Edged and taken at slip. Another one goes. Back-to-back wickets. 2 wickets and 2 balls for Lockie Ferguson. And New Zealand are just 1 wicket away now. Lockie Ferguson is on a hat-trick. And what is happening here to South Africa at the moment? Never thought that they would collapse like this. You're 89 for 5. 67 for 4. From 67 for 4 to 92 for 9 now. The last 5 wickets have fallen for just 25 runs and now can South Africa even score 100 runs? That is a big question mark. Nkobani Mokoena is out for a first ball duck as well. Lockie Ferguson is on a hat-trick. South Africa are 92 for 9 after 13.3 overs. Lockie Ferguson is on a hat-trick. Courtney Bartman is the new batter to the crease. Hat-trick ball coming up from Lockie Ferguson. Can he finish it off here? Appeal for... What were they appealing for? Not out it is. So the hat-trick ball has been negotiated. Very, very close there. Very, very close. But it's been a complete collapse from South Africa at the moment. Just 1 run coming from this over. Still 1 ball left. It's flicked away again by Bartman. Doesn't take the single. So another dot ball to finish the over. They negotiated the hat-trick ball and then two dot balls as well. So just 1 run came from that over, including 2 wickets. And South Africa 92 for 9 after 14 overs. 6 overs left, 84 needed. This is why I kept on saying these are not Indian conditions. I kept on saying that conditions are playing its part now. Very tough to chase 176 in bowling friendly conditions. That last over bowled by Keshav Maharaj would have played a psychological effect. Yeah, Santner is the captain. Mitchell Santner is the captain. That is why I was surprised why New Zealand dropped Cole McConkie in that T20 World Cup final. That was a very, very surprising, shocking blunder made by them. Jamieson into the attack and Linde goes down the ground, goes all the way for 6 over long on. That's a massive hit to start the over. He is the only recognized batter at the crease, so he has to go for it now. Starts the over with the maximum. This time it's a short ball and going for the pull, unable to make contact. At least cross 100 runs and save yourself from embarrassment. That is what South Africa will be feeling now. You don't want to get bowled out under 100 runs. New Zealand got bowled out for 91 in the previous T20 match. But today it's South Africa's turn to have a very ordinary batting performance. Third ball of the over. Full toss, goes down the ground. Linde, one bounce to long off, takes the single and gives the strike to Othniel Bartman. So Bartman has to survive 3 deliveries now. Bartman has to survive 3 deliveries. He should make sure that he doesn't get out because only one more wicket left. But anyways, New Zealand are going to be winning this. Series will be leveled at 1-all. So still 3 more T20s left and it will be like because the series is leveled at 1-all, it will be like a 3-match T20 series after this. The women's T20 series is also tied 1-all. Oh, getting hit on the pads there, Bartman. And he's struggling here, he's in a little bit of pain. Don't know whether he's gotten himself injured here. That is the last thing you want with only 1 wicket left. You don't want the batters to go off because of an injury. I think Linde should have kept the strike because giving 3 balls to Bartman is a kind of a risk. Well, the physio has come out to have a look at Othniel Bartman here. Hopefully he's alright, should be available for the rest of the series as well. That becomes important. It's okay if you're losing this game, but there's still 3 more matches to play after this. At least Othniel Bartman should be available for all those matches. Only 1 wicket left. So he's still going through some treatment here, is Othniel Bartman. And if he's not going to continue to bat, then South Africa will be all out for 99 here. So at least can he continue to bat and survive 2 deliveries? At least give something for George Linde to do. I think he's up and ready now. And that is a good sign actually. 2 more deliveries left in this over. The 5th ball of the over coming up from Jamieson. Oh, again goes through. I think it just nipped back once again. Extra bounce as well for Jamieson. And another dot ball. Needs to survive 1 more delivery here, Bartman. But the only issue is, if George Linde gives the strike to Othniel Bartman, a few deliveries are getting wasted, and the required run rate is already getting out of reach as far as South Africa are concerned. The last ball of the over coming up from Jamieson. Oh, goes for a drive again, unable to make contact. Just not able to make contact is Othniel Bartman. 3 consecutive dot balls to finish the over. 7 runs came from that over from Jamieson. And South Africa are now 99 for 9 after 15 overs. .77 to get from the last 5 overs for South Africa, with only George Linde capability of hitting boundaries. But that's the problem actually. South Africa's main team is not there. Main team will consist of Aiden Markram, Ryan Rickelton, as Linde goes over the top. And that's 1 bounce and 4. So 100 comes up for South Africa eventually with that boundary. 103 for 9 in 15.1 overs. A good shot from George Linde there. South Africa's main players are busy preparing for the IPL at the moment. Aiden Markram, Ryan Rickelton, everyone are there in IPL teams. Goes through the offside again, another boundary. Back-to-back boundaries from George Linde. He is really striking it well tonight. Moves to 33 from just 11 balls at a strike rate of 300. Still 69 needed from 28. Only he can take South Africa closer to the total. Goes big again. How far has he got it? Has he got it long enough? No, he hasn't. Catch taken at long on, and that is it. That is it. George Linde has holed out at long on, and New Zealand have won this match by 68 runs. Lockie Ferguson finishes it off. He finishes with 3 wickets, 3 for 16. And South Africa have been bowled out for 107. George Linde tried his best, but too much to do. Has holed out at long on, and New Zealand have bounced back. They suffered a big defeat in the first T20 match, and they have bounced back and won this second T20 match by 68 runs, a convincing win for New Zealand, and the series is now levelled at 1-1 going into the remaining 3 matches in this T20 series. Wow, what a game. Always when South Africa and New Zealand play against each other, it's always an evenly matched contest. Both teams fighting and providing a really good contest, that is for sure. The last 4 matches played between these 2 teams, New Zealand have won 2 matches, South Africa have won 2 matches. And if you are wondering which are those 4 matches, Men's T20 World Cup, this Men's T20 World Cup group stage match which happened in Ahmedabad, the first round match, Both these teams played in Ahmedabad. South Africa convincingly won that game against New Zealand. And then obviously the semi-final in which New Zealand won convincingly against South Africa. And now in this T20 series, first T20 South Africa won convincingly against New Zealand. And now New Zealand have again bounced back in the second T20, winning it convincingly by 68 runs. So whenever these two teams play against each other, it's always very, very tight. You never know who will win on a given day. Both these teams are capable of winning. Both these teams are capable of beating each other on a given day. And that is what makes it even more competitive whenever these two teams play against each other. So as we see the South Africa's batting card, unfortunately though, just no one could get going today. Too many wickets falling didn't help their cause, and I just kept on saying these are not Indian conditions. These are overseas conditions. It will become very tough to chase down 176, and unfortunately South Africa have fallen well short of the target, in all honesty. George Linde top scoring in that innings with 33 from 12 balls, with 3 boundaries and 3 sixers at a strike rate of 275. He was the only top scorer. But apart from him, no other batter could contribute much. As far as New Zealand's bowlers are concerned, Lockie Ferguson picked up 3 for 16 in his 3.3 overs. Ben Sears 3 for 14 in his 3 overs. Kyle Jamieson none for 22 in his 3 overs. Mitchell Santner again bowled beautifully, 2 for 19 in his 3 overs. Cole McConkie was a little expensive but picked up the wicket of Tony DeZorzi there. Jimmy Neesham bowled only 1 over, picked up 1 wicket, conceded 10 runs. It's a good bowling unit actually of New Zealand, and they have done a really good job to defend this target and win this game by 68 runs. So it makes this T20 series all the more interesting now. New Zealand women and South Africa women are playing a T20 series that happened today morning. That series is also leveled 1-1. Now this men's T20 series is also leveled 1-1. So everything to play for as far as both the T20 series are concerned. So we'll be back again to cover the remaining T20 matches in this series. So until we come back again, please like, share and subscribe to our channel Runs and Views. Take care guys, cheers and have a good day.
Thanks for watching. Please like, subscribe, and share. Thanks for watching. Please like, subscribe, and share. Please like, subscribe, and share.